So, when we started this off, we talked about, one of the pitfalls of this is being so stuck that the cost to switch is enormous.
Yeah.
Whether it be the not just the actual monetary costs of moving vendors and rebuilding, but in knowledge. Like if you are so dependent upon the vendor that you lose knowledge if they leave and whatnot. But tell me, a bit more what you think are like some of the other major problems if you fall into this trap.
So I think one of the biggest ones, and if we kind of look at vendor as far as maybe a platform, one of the biggest ones is ownership. Like who owns what? Oftentimes when you think about vendor lock-in, the vendor lock-in is to the data. So the thing that is the most valuable, we don't even own. So, whether it's a services company or a software company, if they're making it, if they've designed it in such a way that it's very, very difficult for you to get and have access to the data, should be a huge red flag. That again, like that's probably engineered for a very specific reason to keep you dependent on their system. If on the other hand they say, look, we want to make it super easy for you to get the data, it's your data. That says a lot about their trust in the value of what it is that they're offering you. And again, this is both on the services and on the software side. So if I'm purchasing a SaaS product and they're making it very difficult for me to get my data, tells me a lot about their trust in the value that they're offering me. If I'm working with a services company and they're manipulating my data, they're munging it, they're cleaning it, and they're whatever, but I don't get to see what the process is and I can't access the data in or again, that's a huge red flag that this is an agency that wants to own that, and if I leave, then we're out of luck. And we've seen this with lots of companies where they've purchased professional services hours to own kind of that data pipeline. And it's so secretive, it's so unknown that they're locked in that they can't leave. It's like we can't leave. We have no idea where the data is coming from, where it's going, how it's moving through the pipelines, and how it's coming out. If we in this contract, if we in this maintenance contract with this agency, then basically our pipelines fall apart. Again, it should be a huge red flag. They should be teaching you how these pipelines work, how to maintain them, how to fix them, how to extend them. But if they're not, again, then it's a huge red flag that they're trying to keep you locked in. They see that teaching you what they know is a risk rather than seeing teaching you what they know as a huge upside.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that that's one of the biggest questions to answer. Are they willing to teach me what they know?
Yeah. And in many ways, like I do see, this is definitely predatory. You said in many ways it's unethical, but here's where they get you. Like as we were talking about a few minutes ago, an agency isn't going to tell you that, yep, when we build this for you, you are stuck with us until you're done using whatever we build. They're not going to tell you that, but what it's how it's often done and where I've seen it, it's disguised as convenience.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's disguised as, we're going to make it easy for you. We'll handle all of it for you. Let us take on the burden of that. And here's the thing is, don't worry about how it works. We'll manage all of that for you. It's going to be seamless for you.
It feels so good as a buyer, right? Because we're so overwhelmed. Our teams are so taxed. And so we have an agency coming in and say, oh, you have Adobe Launch and you're trying to build. Don't worry about it. We got this. In fact, we've got this connector that bolts onto it that makes it so easy. You don't even need to think about it. Don't worry about it. You go do analysis. We'll do this. What they don't see is the fine print that says, oh, by the way, if you end our services contract, we're taking this connector off, which is going to destroy and stop all of your data collection.
Yeah. I was listening.